We got April on the line. Wants to get in on the discussion. What's going on, AP Calculus? What's up, Cal?
You laying on pillows?
What's up? What you laying on?
You laying on a pillow?
What you laying on?
They going girl 6 on you, man. Go ahead, AP.
We doing good. You want to get in? What you want to get in on? That's a setup. Whoa.
You going to get a lot of females calling saying, what'd she just say?
I mean, they don't do that no more.
I'll be there February, 28th?
Yeah.
But, that's what I got from my mom.
We waiting.
Held the house together. She did. And when it was big decision time, Dad made big decisions. And Mom is kind of, she had her say. I don't want to, to seem like whatever Dad said went. She had her say. When it came down to final decision, let the Papa Bear say. And that's it. In the discussion. And I think, that works in certain situations, but you have to be with the right person,
Amen to that.
My dad, you guys know what my dad taught me. My dad taught me sports.
That's what's up.
No sports without my dad.
That's a good dude right there.
But you like the Redskins, so that's a problem.
Nobody cares about him.
My dad was a Redskins fan through and through. But my father had a wife and 3 daughters. He spent a lot of time in his bedroom. He was not trying to come out and deal with that stuff, So if you wanted to spend time with my dad, you had to go in the room with him and watch sports.
That's right.
The only rule was you couldn't ask more than 2 questions.
Yo, that's hot.
You had to leave the room.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I learned about football, baseball, basketball, I had to teach myself. I had to figure out what a strike zone was. I had to figure out, what a ball was. I had to figure out the foul pole, for baseball. I had to figure out penalties at football because I wasn't allowed too much. Because if I talked too much, I was out the room.
Get out.
Like now?
The purpose of spending time with Dad,
That's a good story, AP. I likes that. Because, I mean, I'm
those are the big life lessons that I've gotten from my parents,
That's what's up, man. We appreciate it. I mean, thank you so much for calling, and we appreciate your contribution. We're gonna see you back here in the studio 2 weeks from tonight. That's April P., our special guest who joins us from time to time here on Ain't No Half Steppin'. And I appreciate it. Hey, look, she really hit the nail on the head for me because she is the daughter of a dad, just like Mama J. And Mama J, a lot of times, if she want to hang out with Daddy, she come in the cave. And she knows.
Your kid got a lot of interests.
She knows when she watches the catcher drop 2 fingers, she knows that she gonna see Uncle Charlie come. You know what I'm saying? If she sees,
that's a changeup, right?
That's a curveball.
That's curveball.
If she see 1 finger drop down, she knows she gonna see hard heat.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? So she knows the lingo and all of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all heard her. Ask her what her football team is. She gonna say New York football. There you go.
That's corrupted kids right there.
Yeah, and just like your kid is. All right.
Ain't he leaning a little bit?
Oh man.
Wow. When I say leaning, I'm talking about not the dad's. Tradition is the father passes down the favorite football team to the son.
Yeah, he done slipped up and said Dolphins.
Because he likes Dolphins. He likes
Sickle.
Yeah, I'm about to string him up by his toes. But, one of the things I can say about my mom that she taught me, and dad too.
Yeah, don't leave dad out.
Yeah, you can't leave dad out. But it's that yard work. My mom became spoiled because she had 3 men in the house. She ain't having any girls. So, my brother and I, we had to do that housework, which was getting on our hands and knees with the bucket and cleaning the floors. We ain't had no mops. We had a rag and a bucket.
Oh, that's all you, man. We had carpet.
And we had carpet, too. We had to vacuum the floors, too.
Oh,
and going up and down the steps with that vacuum cleaner, man, I used to hate that.
One little house, baby. One little house.
Hey, I tell you, the biggest problem I had, though, that they tried to teach me was keep my room clean. I would
Supposed
not
to.
keep my room clean to save my life.
Teach you organization. I
Hey,
have
man,
this
I knew
argument
where
for
everything
years.
was in that room. You ain't have to go in there.
Theo.
That's my room.
It's not a day that doesn't go by where I get on my kids. I have all boys, and I get on them about cleaning their room. Make your bed up.
Right.
Manage
Every
your
morning.
time wisely.
But you know what's a trip about that, Grizz? When we look back to our childhood, and we, you know, I can't speak for you. I didn't know you when we were young boys, but
He was a hoodlum.
yeah, that much I am not shocked about. But
Yeah.
I bet you, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I am.
All right.
You had issues with keeping your room clean, didn't you?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
There you go.
He had to share that
See,
room.
that's the point I'm making.
He had to share that room though.
Yeah, I had a little
it's a
brother
trip
at that
how, you know, we progress
Yeah, we
to
grew.
adulthood, because see, I deal with that with Mama J. You know, now I was the kid that didn't have that much of a problem keeping the room clean. I was OCD as a 12-year-old. I always had OCD.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I had OCD as a 12-year-old.
Wow.
I'm watching.
Still not
and trying
diagnosed.
to stay on her. Now, Carlton touched on something a minute ago about yard work. It's funny because when I was growing up, and I hope Pop is listening because I'm going to give him a nice shout out now. When I was young, 12, 13, even younger or older, the yard that we had in Jersey City, and the people that's listening may not be able to use this as a point of reference, but y'all know,
Right.
my yard was about twice the size of this room. For the people listening,
Like my town.
if you look around your bedroom, that's about as big as the
about
yard that I had to cut.
15
And
by 20,
It probably
something
took
like
a half an hour to do the yard.
Wow.
No joke. And
He's
Pops
in
would have
Jersey
me-
City,
hold up.
man.
Pops would have me out there to do the yard, and I'd be out there pouting. I had the arms folded up like, man, this is some bull. You know, I ain't trying to do all this. He just looking at me. But I wouldn't say nothing because I didn't want him to give me that look that we talked about a little while
Oh
ago.
yeah,
right?
yeah, no doubt.
Finally, he would just look at me and go, man, go in the house.
He just gave up. It's
And
like
that's-
I'm tired of seeing you.
But man,
But then you fast forward to now,
right.
when Pops would come down here to VA and look at the yard that I got to take care of.
Right.
I mean, I got a large. I won't get into
Right.
to,
Yeah.
to
Just
how big,
the
but
acreage.
let's just say it take about 2.5 hours for me to cut my yard. Let's just leave it there.
Right.
And he stood on the porch one day and he just looked at the yard.
He just
and
laughed, didn't he?
bust out laughing.
That's a good one.
Uncontrollably. I said, man, you dead wrong, man. That's
That's a
cold,
good one.
man.
I'm real mad at you right now, man. My yard up in the place where I grew up at,
P-Town.
yeah, P-Town, the original P-Town.
Talking about Petersburg.
Yeah, most definitely.
baby.
I thought
Yeah.
about Portsmouth.
Now we had a fairly. Portsmouth is not the original P-Town, man. Really? Portsmouth is some thing I was made up. Yeah, I said it. Y'all made it up. Now,
Go ahead.
well, my yard was fairly big on the front, fairly big on the back, and I had a hill. And you know, of course, you got to use the push mower with the yard.
Bruh, when they made self-propel mowers.
Yo, my pop got one of them.
No
My dad
grass.
got a self-propel mower. However, it didn't self-propel up the hill.
Oh, it's
So you had to figure out how to do it down, pull it right back up,
I had
go down
sidewalk.
again, pull it right back up. You know, it's wonder how I was fat when I was younger, man, because I did work out there.
hey, my dad had me cutting 4 yards.
Yeah, you cut more
Alright.
yards in the West End.
Yeah,
But you
for
know
real.
those lawnmowers that you had to do.
Oh, we had a neighbor that had one of those.
Like what you call
Those
it's
blade
like a
mowers.
lawnmower.
It's a
Not
mechanical.
that lawnmower, like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a blade mower.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is the worst.
Yeah.
That's
Didn't have
the
any of
worst.
this.
Yeah, you had
My
to cut
dad
the grass. You
stamped me
literally
for
had to
$5.
cut the grass 2 to 3 times a week with those.
That's crazy.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Never.
Crazy.
Yeah. If you
Carl
watered
Banks.
your yard.
Carlton Banks, I want to thank you for that. What do you think about his segment? I tell you, anytime he has one of those segments, he always gives us something thought-provoking. Generally, it's got something to do with relationships, which we all are a part of. And anytime you get an opportunity to speak on your parents, and people that brought you into the world, you
Love
think
you.
fondly of it. It's a wonderful opportunity. Makes me feel good because I'm very fortunate to have Mama J and Papa J to raise
The
yours
originals.
truly. Yeah, the originals. So I want to thank them. I want to thank Carlton Banks, and I appreciate it. We're going to take this last break. When we come back, we're going to get into the rants and the closings. You do not want to miss what we're about to get into when we come back. It's going to be maybe a minute or less. We'll be
Let
right
go.
back. Ain't no half step in Marcus Check.